Welcome to Moonshot Radio with your host, Dr. Nivea Torres.
Greetings and welcome to Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn. I'm your host, Nivea Torres, Executive Director of the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, also known as KRC. Our vision is that all children in Indian River County will be ready for kindergarten. We proudly partner with the Moonshot Movement, who is transforming the next generation in Indian River County by having 90% of all students reading on grade level by the third grade. With me today here in the studio is Shannon Bowman, Executive Director of Childcare Resources of Indian River. Shannon, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Nivea. Thank you for the invitation.
I'm very excited to talk to you about your school. But first, let's learn a little bit about you, your background, and your role as Executive Director.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I have had the honor of serving as Executive Director of Childcare Resources since 2012, and it is an amazing organization that is truly changing lives for children and families in our community. Childcare Resources has been supporting and elevating early childhood education since 1994 here, and the work that is done within the organization through the staff and the board and our volunteers truly is making an impact.
Well, and I've had the pleasure of visiting Childcare Resources, and you can sense that energy and that passion that you and your staff have at the school. Shannon, talk to us a little bit about enrollment at the school. How do parents enroll their children?
Well, first, I think it's important to know that Childcare Resources is a unique Indian River County grassroots nonprofit organization that was started out because 3 early educators saw that there was a problem in our community, and that problem was that hardworking, lower-income families couldn't afford to pay the full tuition rate at a high-quality childcare center, and they made just a little too much money to qualify for any federal or state-subsidized childcare. So that's how we came to be, and that's the work that we've been doing. So the families that we serve, they have to live here in Indian River County. They have to meet our income threshold, which is they're earning about 150 to 210% of the federal poverty level. So a family of 4 could earn up to about $50,000 a year and still qualify for a program. And they have to be working full-time, going to school full-time, or a combination of the two. They also pay part of their tuition. If they are working full-time, they're paying about $60 a week. And if they're going to school full-time, they're paying about $30 a week. And they also have to volunteer back to the program. So we find that's a really important part of our parents' participation in our program, because parents are so important in their child's ultimate academic success. And we find that many of our parents really learn to understand that how important their role is through their volunteer activities at Childcare Resources.
Shannon, you mentioned high quality early education. Is that part of the vision of Childcare Resources? What is the school's vision?
Well, the vision for the organization is that all children in Indian River County should have the opportunity to attend a high-quality early education center. And the vision for our school is to be the hub for high-quality early education here in Indian River County. So we are always working to work towards those challenging visions and create new programming and ways to engage the community so that we can move the organization closer to obtaining our mission and our goals.
And we know that high quality is driven to a certain extent by the curriculum. So what is the curriculum at Childcare Resources, and what is NACCE, and what is your connection to NACCE?
So NACCE is our definition of quality at Childcare Resources, and NACCE is the world's largest organization made up of early childhood educators, and all of their standards are all research-based. It's essentially the best practice gold standard for early childhood education. So our school has their national accreditation, and to obtain your accreditation, you have to meet all the laws and regulations and standards that are set by the state. And then we have this additional layer with our NACCE accreditation, which is essentially 10 research-based standards that we must meet in order to to have our school accredited, which it was just reaccredited last year, and our accreditation lasts for 5 years. I'll point out just 2 standards that I think are really important. Number one, that we are required to have age-appropriate curriculum for every classroom in our school. So we have a curriculum for our infants as well, up to our 4-year-olds have their own curriculum that is developmentally appropriate. And another standard that makes us really unique is that we are required to have a lower student-teacher ratio than a school that does not have this national accreditation. So, for example, we could our student-to-teacher ratio is 1:9 with a maximum group size number of 18, and a non-NACE accredited school could have up to 20 4-year-olds and 1 teacher. So it's quite different.
So you mentioned accredited versus non-accredited. Mm-hmm. Is this then optional for local schools to be accredited by NACE?
Yeah, absolutely. Any early education center could apply for their NACE accreditation. And in fact, our organization would be willing to help a school go through their accreditation. It's quite a lengthy process, and to help put together everything that they need, the curriculum and the plan, so that they could have a successful accreditation, because we feel it's very, very important that children are attending high quality early education centers.
It's definitely the standard to strive for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Shannon, your school also spends a lot of time working on social emotional needs for little ones. Why is that so important?
It is so important. The ultimate goal for their children as they leave our program is that they leave us where they are socially, emotionally, and academically ready for kindergarten. And the research has shown that the social emotional part of that is huge. It's so important. We also know that if children go into kindergarten socially and emotionally ready, the academics will come along later. So it's really, really important. At our school, we implement conscious discipline as the way to help develop children's social emotional skills. And it's just a wonderful program to help children feel and families feel part of our school family, and so that children feel safe. Because we know if children don't feel safe, that they can't learn. So we, from infant room on up to our 4-year-old room, we implement different strategies to help children learn to self-regulate and to be able to socially function in a classroom.
And having visited your school, I can say that it's become a fabric, really, of the environment that you cultivate, this conscious discipline, the ability to be kind, to be able to self-regulate. So can you share specific examples of maybe little ones that you've seen transformed by this curriculum? Yeah,
absolutely. And as you spoke to it so well, it really is part of the fabric of our school. And when you walk in our school, you'll see up to the side of the wall is a beautiful kindness tree. And we invite children and families to come in and document if they see someone doing something kind for someone else. I can think of so many children who have been transformed using conscious discipline, but one that really comes to mind is we had a little boy who was really struggling socially in his classroom. He had a lot of challenges going on at home, and it was really coming out in the classroom. We had a wonderful teacher who took a lot of time with him to help him teach breathing techniques to help him calm when he was feeling stressed. And then the other children in the classroom embraced him as well, and to help him feel part of that school family and to feel safe. And, you see little stories like that actually all the time in our school. The children embracing conscious discipline as well as the teacher. And the teachers are the really, really important part of all of this, especially with the conscious discipline happening at our school. It's because they are self-regulating themselves and being able to then teach that to the little ones in their classrooms.
As you're talking, I'm thinking, well, these strategies and techniques apply to all of us, being able to breathe and to self-regulate and all of that. I think it's certainly very important. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
At the Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, our vision is for every parent, regardless of income or zip code, to have the knowledge and tools they need to raise healthy children that are prepared for kindergarten. Our mission is to support our partners in developing a high-quality early childhood system that is family-centered. Our outreach and parent engagement specialists connect with families and build trusted relationships. KRC has chosen Fellsmere and Gifford as our two focus areas in Indian River County. Our Fellsmere office is located downtown in the City Annex, and our New Gifford office is located within Victory Park Apartments. Our administrative offices are now located adjacent to Healthy Start and Treasure Coast Community Health in Vero Beach. The Kindergarten Readiness Collaborative, developing a high-quality early childhood system for all children in Indian River County.
For more than 160 years, PNC has been committed to providing their clients with great service and powerful financial expertise to help them meet their financial goals. The PNC Foundation, which receives its principal funding from the PNC Financial Services Group, actively supports organizations that provide services for the benefit of communities in which it has significant presence. The foundation focuses its philanthropic mission on early childhood education and community and economic development, which includes arts and culture. Through Grow Up Great, its signature cause that began in 2004, PNC has created a bilingual $350 million multi-year initiative to help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and life. For more information, go to pncgrowupgreat.com. Waves Auto Spa, known as Vero's fastest and finest. A car wash known for their quality equipment and attention to detail by a friendly and courteous staff. Waves offers soft cloth technology, and a top-notch detail center will help preserve the value of your car. Waves now offers windshield chip repair, and in most cases, it doesn't cost you a dime. Spend less time and get a better quality experience for you and your car at Waves Auto Spa, US 1 Vero Beach, across from Kmart Plaza. Open 7 days a week.
If you have been considering cataract surgery, it's time to explore dropless cataract surgery at New Vision Eye Center. With this procedure, there is no need to use eye drops in the days and weeks following your surgery. For many patients, this option is liberating. Consult with Doctors Paul Minotti and Stephen Tate. You will always benefit from the latest technology at New Vision Eye Center. Call New Vision Eye Center for a consultation or second opinion. Your eyesight deserves world-class eye care. Visit newvisioneyecenter.com or call 772-257-8700.
This year, let the professionals at Premier Landscape Solutions enhance your property's curb appeal. Our expert design team can help turn your tired landscaping into the perfect backyard and create a customized care plan that will keep your property looking great year-round. 772-925-0030. Visit our website at verobeachlandscaping.com. From bare bones to beautiful, let us transform your space today.
We don't make excuses, we make results. Premier Landscape Solutions.
We're back to Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn. I'm your host, Nivea Torres, Executive Director of KRC. With me today in the studio is Shannon Bowman, Executive Director of Childcare Resources of Indian River. Shannon, right before the break, we were talking about social emotional curriculum and how your school supports the children and their development. And the importance of this.
Absolutely.
And I think we both agree that this is useful for all of us, not only for the little ones, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shannon, how does your school assess growth and development of little ones, and how do you share that information with the families?
Keeping track and keeping tabs of where children are developmentally is so important to us. And a minimum of 2 times a year, our children are assessed by their teachers and the school directors. And if at any time anyone is not quite meeting their milestones, then a team at our school comes together and perhaps does another assessment on the child to try to see where they may be ahead or behind. Sometimes that leads to the children perhaps may need some additional services such as speech therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, And when those kind of things are flagged, then our school director works with our director of wellness and early intervention, and then they meet with the parents and the teachers, and they come up with some plans for them to talk to their pediatrician about perhaps if they could, the children could benefit from some of these services. And then if that is all agreed to and move forward, then the children can actually receive those services on our campus while they're with us. So that's been a really important benefit for the children in our program. In addition to monitoring milestones, we also have begun trying to really assess where children are developing with their social and emotional skills. And last year, we piloted a new assessment tool. Its name's EDECA, and it aligns with conscious discipline. And last year, it was really wonderful, the strategies and techniques that came out of utilizing that assessment tool. And when some children were having some issues and working on some things, the assessment actually gave us some strategies for the teacher and gave us some strategies for the parents at home. And again, our director of wellness and early intervention program could be working with both the teacher and the parents at home to try to make sure that the child is progressing and growing in those areas when appropriate.
Shannon, do you find that most assessments in terms of accountability, whether they're state or national, focus more on the cognitive aspect, not necessarily on the social emotional, and that's why this assessment might be important?
Absolutely. That we really felt like it was a missing component of our assessment plan. And we had some other avenues that we were trying with different assessments to try to gauge social and emotional, and we weren't really feeling like it was effective. So we went on a search to find something. So like I said, we're going into year 2 of utilizing EDECA, and we're hopeful that it'll again be helpful to our children, families, and our teachers.
And how are families? Are they responsive when you start having the conversations about social emotional? I'm thinking that a couple years back, maybe this wasn't something that was talked about or that was explicitly taught at the school level. So how do families respond to this information?
Many of them are very helpful in going through the assessment process. There's actually a survey that they complete to help us get a good assessment on the children. And then we've been able to sit down with them with these strategies. They've really begun to understand that, hey, that little behavior that we're having at home, there's some things that we can do to try to alleviate that. And the strategies are very simple. And so it's been very well received. I think it was for some families, it's a little foreign. They don't really quite understand why we're talking about that and not talking about colors and numbers. But we really, really try to talk with them and educate the parents on how important it is to work with the children. And last year we found when the parents and the teachers were working together, wow, the children really were improving significantly.
When you see that partnership, children thrive.
Absolutely.
So you talked about educating parents. Are there any other specific components or trainings that you provide for parents?
Yes, absolutely. And parents are probably the most important part of everything we do. Our teachers are essential, but parents are so important. And we do have, again, we have a volunteer requirement of our we ask our parents to come in the classrooms and volunteer and things like that. But we also have some parent education programs that we provide each year. We usually do 3 or 4 of them each year, and we start them and try to make it very convenient for the parents. We start them about 5:45 in the evening. We pay our staff to stay late. We feed the kids dinner, and we try to have some kind of a 45-minute to an hour presentation. Those have been about things about nutrition or teaching your children early literacy through play, things like that. This year, we're getting ready to kick off a conscious discipline parent engagement process for this next year. And so we're going to be inviting parents into our school, working with their children, with them throughout this process, and then working with their teachers to really learn the language and the tips and the techniques that we're doing every single day with the kids while they're with us, and showing the parents some things that they could be doing at home as well.
So, Shannon, when you talked about training for parents, what feedback do you get from them about the sessions? How did this impact their work at home with the little ones, and what changes have they seen?
Well, we find that many of the parents have embraced our parent programming, and they walk away with, I didn't know that, or I never thought about that, or hey, now that makes sense. And so really making the connection. And we've seen our parent programming attendance grow over the last couple years, and that's really, really exciting because, again, all of our parents are working or going to school or a combination of the two. They also have other children at home, other responsibilities, so it's challenging for any parent to try to attend a parent program such as that. I think that it's a really important part of what we're doing.
And what about the training for your educators? What does that look like?
So as we know that in order for children to be kindergarten ready and be successful, that they need to have quality interactions with their teacher throughout the day. And that needs to be a well-trained teacher that is able to achieve that. So we help, every year we host 3 or 4 professional development seminars, and we open it up to anyone who is a teacher of young children here in Indian River County. With grant funding, we have been able to bring in early childhood educator rock stars from all over the country to come and share with our community relevant topics in early childhood development. Usually these sessions take place on a Saturday. They're from 9 till 3. We find that many of the people who are in attendance are there on their own. They're not being paid by their employer to be there. They're there because they want the training. We have stacked on top of that programming and now offer to coaches who their job is to go to any childcare center in Indian River County, and they can help implement strategies that were taught at our professional development seminar and or help the teachers with whatever they may need. Sometimes that's curriculum, sometimes that's help with transitions. They work with the directors and the teachers to create goals, and then they work with the teachers directly to develop strategies to achieve it. It's really an amazing program that we've started. And 2 years ago, we received a grant from Impact 100 to create a credentialing program for early childhood educators. This is a partnership with Indian River State College. And now early childhood educators can earn their staff credential on our campus in 1 semester. So it's 17 weeks, 11 hours a week. We have 12 to 16 early educators at a time earning the staff credential, which is essentially 4 college classes. Before this hybrid fast track that we came up with, it was taking early educators anywhere from 1.5 to 2 years to earn this credential. And the reason for that was often the classes may not have had enough people to continue, or the class was only offered in Okeechobee that semester, things like that. So it's really been a wonderful way to offer really great training to teachers here in Indian River County.
Shannon, what a great partnership with teachers and parents, and the ability that you have to provide this training to any educator in Indian River County, not only the teachers at your school, is really a great contribution. It's really an asset to the community. Shannon, if parents are interested in registering their little one, or anyone who's been listening to us is interested in learning more about the credentialing program or the PD, how can they access this information?
The best way is to go to our website, childcareresourcesir.org, and click on the either apply for childcare, and all the information will pop down about that, or the professional development tab, and we have all the information there. You can apply for our childcare program right there on our website. It only takes a few moments. And you can also sign up for our professional development opportunities and our credentialing program right on our website as well.
And Shannon, if you are on social media, how can folks find you?
Look at Childcare Resources of Indian River, and you will find our wonderful Facebook page, which has great information and then wonderfully sprinkled pictures of our adorable smiling children on there occasionally as well.
And if folks want to come and visit your school,
absolutely. We welcome tours at any time. We just ask that you give us a call at 772-567-3202 and set up a tour. We'd love to take you through and see the impact that Childcare Resources is having in our community.
And you have a budding vegetable garden.
And we do.
I drove by the other day and I saw that. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you and your school and for the leadership and the contribution that you're providing to everyone in Indian River County. It truly makes a difference.
Thank you, Nivea.
And until next time, this has been Moonshot Radio, where every moment is an opportunity to learn.